Hey, what's up? This is Flex Wheeler with another edition of Monday Night Muscle, and I'm here with my host, Bobino. You guys might know him as the voice of bodybuilding, Bob Ciccarello.
Hey, well done, Flexi.
Thank you.
I told you it wasn't that tough. Listen.
Flexi, only he can call that. But our special guest that we have here is a prodigy, Keone.
What's up? Back here again. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, man. But we had you on before the Olympia, I believe, and here we are now post-Olympia. And your thoughts from this past season?
Oh man, this season or just Olympia in general?
Well, let's go to the Olympia, obviously, because that's the pinnacle, right? That's it.
Oh man, I mean, I think the Olympia was amazing. I'm glad that it happened throughout the whole COVID time. The stage setup was beautiful. The lighting was at its best. I mean, the competitors for 212 in my category, I think it was amazing. Sean definitely well deserved it. I mean, I think a lot of people came on point. It was a good show. It was good, but this year is going to be a little bit different.
So this year, how is it going to be different? Obviously, I'm privileged because I'm on the inside of the camp. But for our viewers who don't know, what's going to be different about the prodigy stepping on stage this year at the 2021 Mr. Olympia?
Well, this time we're going to finish it through. Obviously, I sat out from last year, going through a little depression moment, but now I'm 100% mentally good. I'm physically good. You know, I'm going to run it right back again. And then we're going to finish and we're going to do this Olympia.
Now, Keone, did you get a chance to actually watch any of the rest of the Olympia, like the Men's Open? I know you said Sean Clarida winning the 212 was a special moment. Did you get a chance to watch any of the other divisions?
Yeah, I did. I was actually physically there. I was there for the whole show. Yeah. I think it was amazing. Ramy looked insane in person. To be able to see that much mass on someone's legs and back and glutes in person is much different from Instagram.
That's for sure. And for those who have never been there, now you were right there, up close and personal. So you got to see, not only him, but the return of Phil Heath, 7-time Olympia champ, Brandon Curry, the incumbent champ. So we had quite the lineup this year.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I've always been a fan of Phil Heath. I've never seen him in person before, so to be able to see him in person and see how much muscle a person can carry is unreal. It's motivation for sure.
What's interesting, Flex, is Keone brings up a good point, which is that it's so much different looking in person than what you see on either TV or you're watching on the internet and all that kind of stuff.
Or even a Teletron sitting in the audience is still different.
That's a whole different show.
Yeah,
but when you're actually physically watching these guys, you can see the detail. You're usually at the shows up front. You're up in the front row, so you can see exactly what the people are looking at. But question to you in your day: did it ever get frustrating for you when you would hear things post show like nobody was in shape? These guys didn't bring, listen, I'm right up on the stage. You can see that these guys are in great shape, but you can see where there's a disparity in what people are watching versus in person.
Yeah, actually what bothered me the most is the magazines, because obviously we didn't have videos and stuff like that, like the quality that, that are now and on show and everything like that. But most what bothered me was actually the camera and the magazines, because a lot of times a photographer didn't catch you when you're fully squeezing. So unfortunately, if you wasn't there at the show, they think that's the best that you looked, where it's differently. So I get that all the time where, I'll post an old picture and somebody say, yeah, I was there at the show. That picture doesn't, do any justice. But you don't have that problem, Keone, because you always look great. So what are you doing different, right, to be able to come onto the Olympia stage and try to fight for that title? What's going on differently with you and in your camp?
Definitely for me, the most is the condition part. I always brought decent condition, but it was never that grainy, hard condition. I guess I'm still stuck in the classic physique condition because, you don't have to be super grainy to compete in classic. I don't think you do. 212 is just different. It's just a smaller version of open bodybuilding. So they want that grainy, strided look everywhere. And that's the look I haven't brought yet, and which is scary because I think with my symmetry and shape and flow of posing, with that type of condition, it would be hard to beat. So that's one thing. I started dieting pretty early this year. We're 13 weeks out. I started dieting at 16 weeks out. So I didn't diet that long for Chicago Pro. I think it was like 12 weeks last time. Now we're 16 weeks. So
now
there's going to be a lot of difference.
It had to sit well with you that Sean Clarida was declared the winner. A tight finish with the champ Kamal, who looked fantastic, but he's 30 pounds heavier than Sean Clarita. Now, you not being one of the bigger guys, but being superbly shaped, you're like a mini Flex Wheeler when it comes to the proportion and symmetry and all that. So it's got to be a great sign for you to have Sean Clarita. That was the winner.
I mean, it's going to be fun. And then, I met, me and Sean trained back in Dallas actually about a month or 2 months ago. We're sponsored by GAPS together. So we got a whole chest, arm, video, all that on YouTube. So it was crazy to train with the champ like that. But, it's going to be fun. So, I can't wait to stand next to them.
How was that video? How was that video shoot? So was it any, you checking him out, seeing what he got going on or anything like that? Or you guys is all good?
I think it was all good. I mean, we shot our shit and stuff on camera. We talked junk. He was like, you my son, and I'm sitting here talking junk back at him and stuff like that. It was all fun and games.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But after the camera turned, he came and talked to me. He was like, you're going to kill it this year, and it's going to be fun, and it's not going to be easy for anybody. At the end of the day, it's not. He's defending the title, so he got to make sure I don't get it. I'm coming for the title.
Right.
So it's all good.
Flex, in your era of competing, you really didn't have to deal with social media. It wasn't really around yet. I mean, the internet was obviously around, but it wasn't anything like it is today.
No,
Keone,
it wasn't even around.
No,
then.
it just wasn't, especially in the early days. It just didn't exist. But Keone, now this is something that you and the other modern day bodybuilders do have to deal with. How integral is that? Touching base with the fans, because you've got to deal with the haters as well as the fans.
I mean, I just separate all that stuff, man. Even like when I get close to shows and stuff, I try to stay to myself. Like even in interviews, I try to run away from, to be honest.
Right.
Close to shows, I just like to stay away from the camera. I don't like to be all in the hype. Either way, I'm going to be in the hype, but I just try to not hype it up as much as they want me to. So I stay away from that. The haters, obviously, they watching. They're a fan because they're watching. That's right. So I just ignore them, and I just worry about myself and and my supporters. I don't even like to call them fans. I just call them supporters. So
understanding how you are off camera and everything like that, and seeing you on stage, why do you choose to be such an artist on stage with your posing and trying to bring just a different look, to the stage? Why is that? Because that's not you and as your personality. Like I said, knowing that you hate being on camera and all that stuff, how do you transform and be the actual person that you are on stage?
I mean, as bodybuilding is art. It's art. I mean, I studied all you guys from back in the day, man. You, Sean Ray, all you guys. I studied you guys posing. I always had rhythm. I guess I think I know how to dance. I don't know. I think I just got rhythm. I think an average person like my mom did not know I can move that smoothly with all this muscle. She was in shock. She was like, I did not know you can move like that. I was like, it's different. It's just different.
Well, what's interesting, Flex, is it only takes a guy or two to change a dynamic of a generation. Yeah. Back in the day, we had a lot of pop lockers at the same time. We had the Melvin Anthony's, Durham Charles, like a lot of these guys, Tricky Jackson. It's like all of a sudden, like we had 4, 5, 6 of these guys, and it was great because you knew there was going to be some energy brought to the table. Every one of these guys could outdo the other one. But then it kind of fell off. Like right now, there's none of those guys around. Right. Nobody does that type of posing. Right. What's been cool to see is guys like Keone and some of the other guys I'm seeing now, Chris Bumstead and a few others, that have a very classical throwback posing style. And I'm starting to see that kind of cascade a little bit, where now you're starting to see that kind of catch on, where when you guys put that level out there, it forces everybody else to kind of bring it, or they're going to get left behind.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the pop locking, I think that's just for you guys era, man. It's just different. You can't compare what y'all do. We're creating a new era right now. So all the pop locking and all that stuff, it's just different. I don't see people doing that no more, but I don't see people bringing it back either. No, I don't see it bringing it back either.
So obviously going into the Olympia last year, man, just tons and tons of muscle that you had and everything like that. Where are you now compared to where you before coming into your Chicago Pro?
I'm actually the same weight, but this time, since all that new muscle that I actually put on, it actually matured now. So now I'm more dense. I'm actually more leaner and more harder right now at 212 than I was the start of Chicago Pro Prep. Like I said, more maturity, and I'm bigger. So that's the only big difference. It's hard when you put on so much muscle. I put on 25 pounds of muscle in 12 months. So if you put on, coming from 178, competing at 203, all that new muscle, it's going to be hard to mature it so fast. So I was still going to be soft in areas regardless, I think, But this time, everything's just going to be leaner, more mature. And
well, the nice thing is that you're not topping out at the class, so you've got some room to grow still.
Oh, for sure.
Within the class, as does Sean Clarita. And a lot of the guys, I mean, one of the biggest misnomers in the 212 is that they're all like right at 212. And we did a weigh-in at the Olympia a couple of years ago.
Right.
There was like 2 guys that were like 211, and one was like dead on. I think it was Flex Lewis of all people at 212. The rest of the guys were well under. I mean, some of them under 200, and a lot of them in that low 200. So you've still got some room to mature, and you're very young still.
So speaking of
I'm
that
26.
Speaking of that name, Flex Lewis. So Flex Lewis mentioned to me that he actually plans on coming back to the Olympia this year. What are your thoughts on that, or does that change anything for you whatsoever?
What is he doing? Open at 212? Which one?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it's open.
Yeah, he's coming open.
Yeah, he's going in. He's going in open. Yeah. I just wanted to give you a bit of a scare to see it. Yeah.
Hey, retire, man. Interesting.
Go ahead, move up. No,
Interesting about Flex Lewis, but when Flex Lewis first came on the scene, we actually refused to call him Flex because of you.
What? I didn't know that.
Because
I didn't know that.
You were the only. I'll give you the story. So me and Tom Prince are in Gold's Gym, and we meet this young guy named Flex Lewis. And we kind of laughed because obviously we know Flex Wheeler, and it's like, oh, okay, so you're Flex Lewis now, right? And the funny thing is I remember Tom specifically telling him, listen, Flex, okay, James, we'll call you Flex when you win a pro show, that type of thing. And that's literally what we kind of gave him a little bit of shit, lighthearted, but we were real about it. And we would not give him the honor of being called Flex because of yourself, but more importantly because you were new. And you had to earn that title, that nickname. So.
That is crazy. I actually met him at, when he first came here, I met him at the Max Muscle. And obviously I was a little bit more aggressive back then. And I rode up on my bike, and he told me the story. He's like, he was nervous as hell because he thought I was going to fight him. And he walked up and he shook my hand. He goes, hey man, I'm Flex Lewis, are you okay with that? I go, man, I don't know the name Flex, and I just shook his head and walked in. So there's never been a problem. But
Keone, I got to ask you this though. Yeah. So the $1,000 question and control of the board. Do you know where Flex Wheeler got the nickname Flex from?
Oh gosh.
TikTok.
Oh my gosh, dude, you've been at my house so many times. You don't know that story?
Jeez. Was it from fighting?
Yeah.
No, actually, no. It was a derogatory. People used to make fun of me because I used to always flex while I walked around. Because my name then was Skinny Kenny. So it was actually a negative comment when I walked around. So you lost some money.
Now, listen, Flex actually would turn out to be a great nickname. Skinny Kenny doesn't even rhyme. So that was a terrible nickname.
It went great for me back then, trust me. I was truly Skinny Kenny.
So you probably didn't embrace the name Flex right off the bat.
I did not embrace the name off the bat. When we come back from this commercial, we're going to ask you, how did you come up with the nickname The Prodigy? Stand by.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on trifecta.
It's Flex Wheeler and Bob Ciccarello with Monday Night Muscle and our special guest, Keone. My question is, how did you come up with the name The Prodigy, or did somebody give it to you?
Several people actually gave it to me. I think I got that name after the New York Pro, and a lot of just older gentlemen started calling me, you're a prodigy, you're a prodigy. I had no clue what it meant, so I actually Googled it up, and it means young one. Just different from everybody. So I just ran with it. I ran with it. Then I met Brandon Curry, and they used to call him the prodigy.
Right.
Apparently back then.
I didn't know that.
And I was like, oh, Brandon, he's too close to his 40s now. He's not young. He's old.
Yeah, with a
not the prodigy
I'll take
anymore.
it.
With a nickname like the young one, at some point you got to give it up.
Damn, the young one is nice though. I mean, you definitely have to give it up because Brandon is a little bit older.
Well, strangely enough, and sadly enough, you could be in your 40s right now, and we would call somebody the young one. So that's
I could call a lot of people a young one, including you. How you doing, young
not
man?
good for us. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, you're older than me still, so. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how I got it from other people. Then I met Brandon, and it's actually on a YouTube video, and we was talking about the prodigy, whatever.
Well, they just call him Mr. Olympia now, so that's
Hey, Mr. That's even better.
Now,
Mr. Olympia.
I'm sure that nickname would serve you a whole lot better. What are those belts in the background I see? I'm seeing some belts hanging up there.
These are the belts that I competed in so far. Got Tampa Pro second place, Arnold fourth, New York first, Olympia fourth, and 212 Chicago Pro. And I got one missing right there for the Mr. Olympia.
I was
212.
just going to say. So, what are your predictions for the 2021?
For this year, Mr. Olympia?
Yeah, for the 2021 Mr. Olympia. What are your predictions?
What category?
Your category.
Hey, yours.
Hold on real quick. Can I flip the camera right here?
Yeah, do what you got to do, bro. Here we go. Woo. Things to do. Win Mr. O, 212. Okay.
That's it. That's it. I'm not going to say it.
I like how he's got it on a whiteboard, right?
I like that. I like that very, very
Hey, man,
much.
you got to see your goals, right?
It's like
That's
a grocery list. Things to do. Pick up groceries, get dry cleaning. I
used to do the same
mow the
thing.
lawn, win the Olympia.
I used to do the same thing. I would write, win this show on my bathroom mirror in my bedroom because it would be the first thing I see when I got up every morning. So
Now, this year puts you in a better place, clearly, because you had now a whole year to prepare for this competition. So how's the preps going? Are you exactly where you want to be right now? And
No,
any
yeah.
injuries to announce or anything like that?
Nah, no injuries. Like I said, I'm 13 weeks out. I'm at the best spot ever. I'm bigger, I'm leaner, more mature, mental. This is the most important part for me, really, for the prep aspect, and it's 100%. So I feel great.
So one thing is really interesting is the weight that you throw around in the gym. I know back in our days, we used to credit ourselves with some of the craziest lifts and everything like that. But watching some of your later videos now, I mean, you truly throw around some serious weight, especially for your size. Where does that come from?
I just think just aggression, man. Just aggression. I'm just an aggressive dude, man. I when I go in the gym, man, I really just think about a lot of negative things people been told me. I don't get told a lot of negative things, but just reading comments, it would just piss me off, and that fires the fuel for me to go into the gym and just kill it. So anything negative that would pushes me to lift heavy weight.
I know one thing that's very negative that probably fueled you a lot is when you left a certain team or whatnot, it was told that you would never do great again. You definitely laid that all to BS, didn't you?
No, 100%, man. Actions speak louder than words.
There you go.
Keone, you have any comments? I know, what was it, Jimmy Fallon or one of those late night guys does a thing, or maybe one of the other guys that they read actually the comments from, the haters out there, the hecklers. You got any comments laying around? Like, do you put those up on the whiteboard at any time, like to kind of motivate you?
No, I usually so now on Instagram you can pin comments now. You can actually pin them where everybody can see them,
there
and
you
my
go.
supporters just pretty much bury them to the ground for me, so I don't have to say nothing.
Flex, aren't you glad you didn't have to deal with this
my
stuff?
gosh.
Listen,
Jeez.
it was enough that you had the chat board, the boards and stuff like that back in the day.
Yeah.
But that's about all we had to deal with,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
This
definitely.
stuff,
We're all on different sides of United States. Kevin was way over there. You were in New York until you came to, to Go's Gym. But when you're done with this bodybuilding thing, you thinking about going into movies? Because I know you get pinned a lot. What you look like a certain very, very well comedian. Have you tried to reach out to him or anything like that?
Yeah, they sound like Denzel Washington.
Is that what you were thinking,
That
Flex?
is not the exact one. I think he knows who I'm talking about, the comedian that you hear a lot that you look like. Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
Now, can you do any can you do an imitation?
I can't, man. I can't.
You just did.
Come on, that's
I can't.
Oh my gosh. That was a pretty good one, actually.
I tried.
I tell you who does the best imitation of him I've ever, Jay Farrow.
I seen that on TV.
Who does the best imitations of anybody I've ever heard. Holy
Yeah,
crap. He does Eddie Murphy, dead on. I mean, Kevin Hart.
DMX, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he is, you could close your eyes. I mean, I wish I had that kind of talent, but
Oh my God.
you got to hone that, bro. Maybe you could be a stunt double for him.
You got to get a hold of Kevin
That pays
Hart,
a lot.
definitely, bro. Definitely. You got to get a hold of him.
My goal was actually is I just want to meet him, even if I can't train him. I would like to meet him one day.
Right.
One day.
Me
It's
too.
coming.
We'll work on getting him to the Olympia this year. We've got lots of celebrities that are starting to pile in, and me and Flex were talking about that a little bit off the air, but it's cool to see, and you were watching the Olympia this year, where we have Shaquille O'Neal, Dave Bautista, Johnny Damon.
Crazy.
There's all kinds of celebrities that are starting to kind of infiltrate because, like Flex was saying, it's amazing. They all kind of come through bodybuilding at some point, especially with, the Rock now, obviously, number one at the box office, and, Arnold before him. But it seems like a lot of celebrities are embracing bodybuilding now.
I think they started noticing the hard work that we put in, and it's just a different type of commitment. Commitment with bodybuilding, So be able to see, NBA players get into it. Like you even got Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson.
Yep.
He's even following bodybuilding now. He work out with bodybuilders now.
Right.
So now you got all these NFL players getting into it. So it's pretty cool.
So Chicago Pro is coming up next. I always enjoy watching your routine. Have you started working on your routine and your music yet? And what do you got special for us? Have you coming back to the stage after almost a year hiatus?
And still practicing poses. I'm not holding any poses, but more so a routine. But as you know, I do work with Flex for my posing as I go through my prep. So this is going to be fun this year. I know we're going to kill it for this year Chicago Pro.
That's a good coach to have. Is there anybody you're targeting? Like we just recently interviewed Blessing, the Boogeyman. And
oh man,
I'm sure you probably follow that stuff too. Him and Nick Walker and a lot of these guys, they're just going back and having fun doing it. And the nice thing is nobody's getting nasty. I think they all get that. It's kind of listen, we can have some fun, but we're competing for some money and the Olympia qualification. So do you have anybody that you would consider your nemesis or anybody that you kind of like to take out?
I'm just worried about myself. I'm just focused on myself, man.
Man, you're getting that from Flex, man.
You can't. I know you. You try to get stuff out of me.
Me? No. Why would I ever do such a thing, Flex?
Never, not you.
No. Listen, we saved that for the press conference because then I'm gonna hit you up for that stuff. But what do you do in your spare time? Nobody ever asks this question because bodybuilders, I'm getting ready for the show. Okay, great. That's getting to the gym a couple hours a day, and then you got to get your meals in. What do you do for fun? Do you have any hobbies? You collect stamps?
You like Dexter? You collect Jordan or shoes? What's your
thing?
Yeah.
I'm actually getting into the sneakerhead part. But I do online clients, man. I do online training, so I message my clients throughout the day, every single day. They're all around the world, so I usually do that. I stretch. I usually chill with my pops. My pops is basically my neighbor, so we're pretty much chilling. I love to travel, man.
Shout out to Pops. Tell him I said what's up.
Right.
I will. I got you.
Yeah, tell him I said, and moms too. Tell her I said what's up.
Appreciate that. I got you.
Now, you need to talk to, you mentioned Phil Heath and how cool it was to see him back on the stage. He's got a sneaker collection.
Him and Dexter.
Yeah, him and Dexter.
Oof.
Second to none. I mean,
that's an expensive
They've got hundreds of shoes. But I didn't even know this, right? But I got to get up with the times here, Flex. So apparently there's different eras of sneakers that you can get now. So like Phil will tell me, yeah, man, I just picked up a pair of Air Jordan Retro 97 something.
Yeah.
They all got numbers and serial numbers and stuff now.
Yeah.
Do you get into this stuff now?
Yeah, man, I've always been into shoes. I haven't been like a huge sneakerhead, but I've always been into Jordans, and I know the history behind them. All his Jordans got something behind it. You know what I'm saying? He either did something in it,
right,
and he just named it after that. And that's how I come with the names and the numbers.
Now, as somebody who's a novice to that, I got to ask, so do you wear them, or is that like forbidden? Or do they just sit up? Huh?
I actually do wear them, but I do have a few that I never wear. I probably never wore and I had them for a year. I just probably never wear them.
You get a pair of Yeezys yet?
I got a pair. I got 2 pair of Yeezys.
Oh, boy. Wow. There we go. Jeez. Flex, you got any shoes you don't wear?
I got a lot of shoes I don't wear, and it's just because my foot don't fit on them anymore. But
a lot of right shoes.
Yeah. As
it would be.
Definitely. So, Keone, got a serious question for you here.
What you got?
What's on your mind going into the show. We've had our private talks about the enemy and stuff like that, what goes on in the head and all that stuff. But how do you now keep yourself focused? Because you're kind of open about that, and I appreciate you being open about that on camera and everything, because a lot of people struggle with that type of stuff and don't talk about it. So how have you been able to harness that and change it into your positive energy?
Well, honestly, you helped me the most through the whole situation through Chicago Pro. You was, for everybody that's watching this, he helped me. I wanted to quit when we was posing, and he snapped me out of it, honestly, I just started surrounding myself by positivity, more so being around people, like-minded people. That's honestly what got me through all of this. Even to this day, the preacher you told me about, he texts me Bible scripts every single morning. I read them every single day when I wake up. Every day, to this day, even this morning.
Right.
So, just reading the word more, honestly, that what helps me, and just being around people, and that helps that demon in my head to go away so I can finish this whole prep strong.
You picked about the best guy in the biz for that, Flex, we go way back.
Yeah.
You've probably dealt with more demons than anybody.
I've probably just been maybe more honest about it, yeah.
Well, and you've been very honest, which is great, for young people like Keone that are coming up. But it's one of those things that's not really talked about a lot in the industry. But you've always been very forward with that, even way back when you wrote your first book. And you kind of put it out there. But I think you did it, one, because it was therapeutic for yourself, two, because it was able to help other people. But you battled yourself as much as you battled the guys on stage next to you.
Yeah, probably even more so. And I just, I don't want to get all crazy or anything like that, or a Bible thumper, but, when I started really understanding the Bible more, it was about men who just deal with unbelievable weights and stuff like that. And that actually kind of made me be a little bit more honest in coming out about the demons that I've dealt with. But, I'm not the only one. A good friend of mine now, Terry Crews, he's done the same thing. We talk all the time about, the things we've been through. But I think also what's really helped you, Keone, and not being disrespectful to anyone else, is you have a new team around you, being, this young man from Canada. So how has that changed and put a kind of more of a positive energy into what you've been trying to achieve?
As far as having the people?
Yeah. With Dorian and everybody, right?
Say that again?
With Dorian and having him with a more positive team around you.
It's just extra positivity, man. It's just extra. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's nothing else to it. He came along and he helped me. He knows what I battled. And he knows what I went through. And he was there too as well. So,
Well, like I say, right man for the right job. Like I say, you're catching a guy who walked the walk, who's been there, has experienced it, has gotten
going through it,
through it and conquered it, which to me is a whole lot better, Flex, than you got people that are listen, nothing against therapists and people that are in that business.
Yeah.
But walking the walk is a different deal.
Yeah. I've always felt for us who try to coach or mentor in any way, is different when you've actually been through it, and then you can transcend that versus someone who might have a really great eye to talk about it and then emulate it. When I'm talking to Keone or anyone else, I can look into their eyes or to their heart, and I've been there, so I can see it quicker than they can, and it helps them. But Keone, when we come back, we want to talk a little bit more about your future, your plans, and your ultimate goal of what you want to exceed in bodybuilding when we come back from this commercial break.
Joe Weider's Olympia here in Orlando, Florida.
A little bit strange coming out of Las Vegas for all of those years.
Good evening, and welcome to the event that nearly never happened.
There's been an absence of a particular group of people on this stage that are back tonight. Tonight I'm here to say, welcome back to Miss Olympia.
It's Flex Wheeler with the host of all hosts, the voice, Bob Citarella with Monday Night Muscle, our special guest, Keone. And Bob, you had a great question for him. Go ahead.
Well,
It's like
the Shatner pause there. Spot. All right, so Keone, we're talking about what the future is going to represent for you. Chicago, we know, is coming up. Now you have to requalify, correct?
Correct.
So
I do have to requalify.
a plan for, after Chicago. There's only a few shows, I believe, after Chicago en route to the Olympia. So now you've got to be a favorite, obviously, going in. So, but you still got to earn your way there. So Chicago or bust?
Yeah, so I'm doing Chicago Pro. There's no plan B for me. I'm just doing this second show because this is a brand new show and my sponsor is sponsoring it.
nice.
So I just wanted to put my face on there out of respect. And it's just a good look. It's a really good look. So it's Texas Pro. They just have opened in 212 bodybuilding.
Right.
I'm actually moving to Dallas in 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Wow.
right by my home. So I'm just going to do the show. I'm going to do it.
How does Pops feel about that? You leaving Pops? You going to move with you, or what's up?
Hey, he used to live in Texas, so he ready to travel to actually go somewhere. So he's happy.
Yeah, nice.
Now, what's the
Very
reason
nice.
for the move? Is it's the personal thing, family thing, or is it business related, or?
It is business related, and bodybuilding is huge in Texas.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
You got any states in the U.S. that's big in bodybuilding. It's like California and Texas, especially Texas. You got the best of the best gyms there. You got Patrick Moore lived there. Brian Coleman there. You got
The Labradas.
Logan Franklin. You got all the big stars that live in Texas. I get to surround myself in that environment.
Everything
So,
bigger in Texas,
Yeah,
Flex.
so they say, but Cali, we got it. So Keone, I noticed that you're really starting to mentor other people. You're helping clients and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I am doing online coaching, but I also help a lot of them on the mental aspect too. And I'm really blessed to be able to go through what I went through because I can put that on
right.
people. Like
That's
I have older clients. I'm telling them about mental health, not just coaching, because they dealing with mental stuff on their own. And I told them like, hey, you can talk to me about anything. And it don't have to be just a coach conversation. Okay, check in, that's it. Like, no, you can actually talk to me if you're going through something, like, because I want to be there. I want to be like a mentor too. So that's how I am with all my clients. I don't have a lot of clients. I keep it that way so I can give them that attention.
It's interesting, Flex, when you talk about bodybuilding and how personal it is. It's a very selfish sport, as we all know. It requires crazy amounts of attention to you and only you, while trying to block out other things that can be a detriment to it. Now, for this reason, I think it can be a great help to people, and it can be a great hindrance to people.
Yeah, double-edged sword.
Because you have to deal with certain things, and like I said, it can kind of, it can make or break you from that aspect.
Yeah, definitely. And it is great, and I'm glad that you're actually taking that and paying it forward to be able to help because, like we talked about before, it's a huge thing in our sport. We've lost some great people in our sport, and I think, if we become more open and talk about it, we can actually elevate our sport along with helping other people also.
Yep, 100%. I agree 100%. So I advise anybody that's watching this video, just help you out, be more open.
Well, Keone, you probably find yourself being more Dr. Phil these days, than a doctor of bodybuilding, dealing with client, because everybody's got stuff to deal with. Everybody's got issues or things they got to overcome or whatever. But
except Bob.
Except for me, I'm good. Yeah.
When you have a voice like this, you ain't gonna have no problems whatsoever. I'm telling you.
Never.
Yeah, well, the competing's a little different than announcing. So let's. But do you find yourself splitting your time a little bit, where it's more? Like what percentage would you give it from mental to physical?
I try to give all of it the same, to be honest. Mental 100 and physical 100. I try to give it all the same.
And that's a fair answer because you can't really split it up. I mean, any one without the other, and you got 0%.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
that old saying, where the mind goes, the body follows, and we both definitely know that.
Yep, 100% everywhere.
All right, so let's get down to business.
Here we go.
I want names, mister.
Yep, that's right. Calling out names, bro.
Who we taking out?
Like Corrupt, I'm calling out names.
That's
calling
right.
out some names on me. Whose head are you going to take off?
Are we talking about competing?
Yeah, we're talking about competing.
Well, obviously, we're going to defend the 212 champ. I mean, the 212 title at the Chicago Pro. And then, obviously, we're going to... I love you, Sean. I love you. That's it.
Listen,
I
truly believe there's a way that you could be competitive with another man respectfully at the same time. I don't think there's any problem with that, as long as you don't get into the personal stuff and everything like that. But listen, when you go on stage, this person is trying to beat you. There's no bones about it. So being competitive about them and letting them know, hey, listen, I'm coming to take your head, is nothing personal. You're both going on stage trying to make a living. So, other than Sean, is there anyone else? Is there any message you have for anyone who's trying to come to the Chicago Pro and take your title? They shall be warned. What do you have to say to them?
Well, they lost. They live in mine. They think I'm gonna lose in my hometown. For one, but for two, it's gonna be I hate to say this, but I came to Chicago Pro probably at 75% and beat guys at their 100%. So once I'm 100% this year, it's going to be a problem. So anybody that's competing in Chicago should be ready.
Do you put a little extra, I'll call it really pressure, but a little more pride in the fact that you're actually defending the title rather than just going for a title and a qualification? Does it feel different this year than it did last year?
You said, does it feel different?
Yeah.
Obviously, 'cause I'm defending the title, and now people's coming at my neck, but they're just going to have to work even harder because I'm just going to be even better. So,
You mentioned that. Before, everybody was saying, oh, he could potentially be this, he can be that good. Now you are that good, and you've proven it. So is there more pressure now than it was before?
I think the more better things I do on the stage, just more pressure is just going to come regardless. Even when I won 212, now the pressure is on, okay, Keone need to crack top 3, top 2. You need to win, That's even more pressure. So now that I sat out, I look different. I look better. Now the pressure is even more on because people expect me to win Chicago Pro. And a lot of people expect me to win 212 Mr. Olympia.
And exactly, that's one of the reasons. We know you were a guest before, but that was one of the main reasons we brought you back on before, because so many people were talking about you and the threat that you brought to the table on the sport. Does that make you feel good about yourself, or does that actually bring some more pressure to you?
There's definitely more pressure. Definitely more pressure. It does make me feel good too to know, people are talking about me and they see the potential in me. That's great and all.
And a positive way too.
Yeah, in a positive way. But there's definitely more pressure. But I'm just using that pressure for energy, and I'm just using that pressure for the gym.
Copy that.
All right, let's go lightning round. Give me the first thing that comes to your mind when I say the name Derek Lunsford.
Who?
Was that an answer?
Kamal El-Garni.
Old with a young body.
Flex Lewis.
He's a GOAT. He did it. He did it, He's going open.
And I'm going to give you one more name. The Giant Killer, Sean Clarita.
Who?
I got one last name for you. What comes to mind when I say this name? Keone Pearson.
212 Mr. Olympia.
You heard it here, folks. You know what? You can't beat that. You got to like it. 212 Mr. Olympia. What do you think, Flex? Can you do it?
Go ahead and call it.
I'm not betting against you. I know you got some great guys in your corner. I understand where your head at, and honestly, the truth is, it's about matchups, right? It's truly about matchups and what a body can do, and the shortest amount of time that you've been in this sport, because going into the Olympia, and we're all predicting that you're going to make it to the Olympia, in the 212 class, you're not only the youngest, but you also are the youngest who have been competing. It's the most limited times as you actually been on stage. So I don't think we probably scratched the surface of what you're capable of, because everybody else that you're going to be competing against have been competing longer and running harder than you have. So I think you got a lot in your tank, and I truly can't wait to see what you bring to the table, son.
Keone, what do you think of these two words? And new.
You just make sure you say that.
That's a deal, Mike.
Make sure you say that.
Listen, you just do your homework. You get in that circle, I'll absolutely say it. You got my word.
100%.
It's an honor to work with you. It's a privilege. I can't wait to see what we're going to get going here. And bro, you stay sharp. You stay away from that BS. And you continue to handle your business.
You already know.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for Keone Pearson, my co-host Flex Wheeler, and I'm Bob Chick. That's going to wrap things up here at Monday Night Muscle. We're out.